So a baking book was a dream that started to develop as I was baking a lot, when I opened my patisserie and when I got involved in television as well. Then it started to become a dream, and obviously now a reality. And the look is definitely timeless, it's classic as well, but you've got that beautiful nostalgia that comes with it, and yeah, that feeling of having something worthy in your hands when you hold it. My mom gave me the freedom to bake in the kitchen and gave me opportunity to test many recipes and work with it, and definitely also the way that she taught me how to bake precise, how to bake your biscuits in perfect rows. That was the inspiration that led me to baking and to keep on continuing baking. But another inspiration is that I leave something behind, that I provide people with a book that they can take to their homes and they can bake it themselves and also create memories around that. That is definitely the core inspiration. While creating your book, you've got to have a lot of diligence, you've got to work hard, you've got to keep on going, and I think it's sometimes astonishing when you see that you can actually do it. So it's something that you can really feel proud of, getting it done. That was surprising to me. Yeah, the illustrations is done by Claudia Liebenberg. She does water painting and she's amazing at what she does, and I've got some of her art in my house. And while I was working on the idea of the book, I actually looked up and I saw these paintings. I thought, this is the person I should ask to do the book and do the illustration with the book, and I couldn't be more happy asking her to do it, because it just gives the book something so beautiful and so unique. I think the illustrations in the book definitely puts it on another level, this book, and also it's very classic, it's very simple, but the recipes is something that you can build on. It's recipes that you can bake for a lifetime, and I'm sure that anyone that opens the book will find something that they would like to bake in it, and the fact that it's so classic just gives it that something that you can hold and keep on and passing it on from one generation to the next. Yes, Kookadoor was a baking program, so it's a baking competition, and I took part in it, and it was an absolutely wonderful experience. I spent almost a month on set without being able to talk to anyone outside of the set, which was wonderful, and it also led me into more television work, being the content director for Kookadoortjie and Kookadoortjie, which came after that. So it just opened so many worlds for me. As a child, I loved baking, and I baked with my mom, loved baking with her. She always baked in an instant, so she decided, oh, let's do this, and then she starts baking. But I also baked a lot on my own, which created all the opportunity for me to build all the experience that I got in baking. I would say they always go back to the fig frangipani tart. That is a lovely tart. It's buttery, it's sweet, and it's fruity. People just love it. In patisserie was a wonderful experience. Loved having the opportunity to bake and to give that to people so that they can also create memories around it. That was part of the whole idea behind in patisserie. And I loved doing it. I love the people, and I still meet people on the street and they say, oh, they miss the shop so much. But with three children, it's just too difficult to have a shop like that. Comfort food is important for all people, but for me, it's definitely the pancakes with melted cheese and a good smoked ham. Definitely a comfort food for me. I would always go back to thyme. Thyme is a wonderful herb. It's got a very subtle scent, but it adds a lot to different variety of recipes. I would love to go to Paris to enjoy a real croissant and a cup of coffee on a beautiful piazza somewhere, and just to see what they do and what they bake. I am a French patissiere. I've always been baking French baking, and it's been a part of my life, but I've never experienced it in a city like that, so definitely one day. My favorite kitchen tool is definitely a palette knife, an offset palette knife, which helps you to create beautiful cakes. You can ice easily with it. It's easy to lift up cakes and cookies with it. definitely my go-to. My proudest baking moment was when I made a beautiful cake for the audition for Koekoedoor. It was a beautiful, simple vanilla cake with raspberry jam that I cooked myself, decorated with macaroons in different colours. Definitely something that stands out for me. I would like to take this book along with me on the future and become more involved in the food industry, if it's TV, if it's radio, if it's magazines or newspapers. I would definitely continue being in the food industry. I would not choose anything different. My pantry always have butter and then cream, and I would definitely say sugar because I can't bake without it, and lemons because it adds lovely flavor, and then flour because unfortunately you can't bake without. I would say that Koekoedoor was definitely a highlight in my career because it just opened so many doors for me and created the possibility of doing the book, being in television, and just wonderful experiences. My style of baking is definitely simple but elegant. It's also classic, and I believe in using the best product that you can afford, buying real butter, using real good fruit and vegetables in your baking. That's very important for me. But my style of decorating is also quite simple, and it just adds to that timelessness of this book as well. My favorite recipe would definitely be the fig frangipani tart. It's creating the wonderful crust and the frangipani and plunging those lovely ripe figs into the tart, which is just amazing to make.